This man's name is Theodore Edgecomb, and he is facing murder charges. And guess where? Wisconsin. And guess what he's claiming? Self-defense. He's claiming he was attacked and he had to shoot because he feared for his life. And he may be right. So they're calling this man the Black Kyle Rittenhouse. And his supporters are hopping mad. They are blaming the judge for being racist. Gee, where have we heard this before? Oh, but wait until you hear why. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With his powerful brainwaves cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnnie Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnnie Walker Dread Show.
Okay, let's listen about Theodore Edgecomb.
Now, right now at 5, supporters of Theodore Edgecomb, who shot and killed a man on Holton Street Bridge, are demanding a new judge in his case. Bruce Harrison joins us now live with developments. Bruce.
The defense could have requested a new judge, and they are given one automatically if they want. That is a Wisconsin law. So basically, once you find out who your judge is, you have the right to have a new judge appointed. You only get to do that once, but it's automatic. In other words, you don't have to justify it.
Shannon, this is the spot where Theodore Edgecomb shot and killed attorney Jason Clearman in the fall of 2020 after what police describe as some kind of altercation. Now, the trial is set to begin next week, but supporters of Edgecomb and his defense are concerned that it won't be fair.
Oh, yeah, it's not going to be fair. Wait until you hear why.
We want justice for Theodore Edgecomb, and we want Judge Borowski to be removed.
He's not capable of delivering justice in this case.
Let's demand for a new impartial judge for Theodore Edgecomb.
Supporters of Theodore Edgecomb met today because Judge David Borowski denied a defense motion to
Get ready. Are you ready? Here we go.
limit the use of words such as victim and crime scene during Edgecomb's trial.
Oh, that's right. And you know, every single one of those people that are protesting were all upset when Judge Bruce Schroeder would not allow the prosecution to call the assailants in Kyle Rittenhouse's trial victims. And guess what? They're now upset because the man that was shot by Theodore Edgecomb could be considered a victim. Yeah, you heard it right. Now you may be wondering, well, maybe they're just doing tit for tat kind of thing, right? Well, notice they also don't want the phrase crime scene entered. So this isn't about just getting even for what they saw going on in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. No, they actually see that such words can prejudice a jury. And by the way, I perfectly side with them. But unfortunately, you know they were not siding with Kyle Rittenhouse back in the day.
Borowski declined to comment for this story. Edgecomb claims self-defense and rejected a plea. Now, prosecutors are trying to put him in prison for life for first-degree intentional homicide. The self-defense claim is based on the defense's argument that Jason Clearman was an aggressor pursuing Edgecomb.
Gee, the defense is claiming that that dude was chasing him and was the aggressor. Where have we heard that before? And keep in mind, Theodore Edgecomb may very well be innocent. I don't know because I don't know enough about what happened.
And they point to surveillance video shows a car driven by Clearman's wife pulling up behind Edgecomb and then Clearman exiting the car. Clearman's family says Edgecomb was the aggressor, and prosecutors say his decision to flee the state after the shooting shows guilt.
Wait a minute. Theodore Edgecomb fled the state instead of calling 911. I thought that made the shooter automatically guilty. Yet, you know, everybody in that room would have scoffed at that notion, but they were using it against Kyle Rittenhouse. And of course, you know, they were all talking about, well, Kyle Rittenhouse crossed state lines. Theodore Edgecomb did to escape justice, and he hid out for months. Kyle crossed the state line and turned himself in within a matter of hours. And Does the fleeing the scene and leaving the state make Theodore Edgecomb guilty? In my book, no.
To the issue of who can be called a victim, judges have discretion in this state over the use of that word.
I think Judge Borowski is ruling consistent with what most judges are ruling, but the defense counsel, I think, have a good point that the term victim is really improper and shouldn't be used until after a conviction is actually received by the court.
Yep, and all those people are going, you're right. Victim, it prejudices the jury.
Borowski did say he may push back on the prosecution if they use the word too much, but Edgecomb supporters point to the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse.
By the way, do you notice that they always show Kyle crying or they show a picture of him crying? It's not done for nice reasons.
And how Judge Bruce Schrader prevented prosecutors from describing the men Rittenhouse shot as victims.
I wonder if those people are going to now turn around and say, yeah, I guess he was right after all. The word victim is a bit problematic.
It's fairly unique. I think most judges these days are allowing prosecution to use that term.
Yeah, but they shouldn't. And the person that Theodore Edgecomb shot should not be called a victim. He very well may be a victim, but the jury hasn't decided that yet. The merits of the case should be judged by what happened, the evidence. Using such terms as victim should not be allowed to influence the jury.
And Shannon Lavoie says he believes this will eventually be appealed and a higher court will rule and set a precedent for how and if victim can be used during a trial. But that's highly unlikely before Edgecomb's trial. Jury selection begins next Tuesday. Reporting live in Milwaukee, Bruce Harrison, TMJ4 News.
Bruce, thanks for that.
So they even want to take it to the appeals court to make it permanent. Now, you may be wondering, well, now, how do you know that those people that were in that room were totally against Judge Bruce Schroeder? Look at them. Come on. They ain't fooling me any. I would bet that almost every single one of them is a vicious anti-Kyle and probably tweeted like crazy about how unfair it was that Judge Bruce Schroeder was not going to allow poor little JoJo Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber and Gage Grosskreutz to be called victims because after all, they were shot. They were victims of something. Why can't we call them victims? Well, guess what? Now they know. Oh, and by the way, Theodore Edgecomb's supporters are pointing out that the video shows the other dude was attacking him, chased him down. They're saying that this is all you need. You have the video. Yeah. Ask them how they feel about the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. And of course, the hypocrisy will continue as this trial unfolds, and it will really get bad when Crystal Kaiser goes up for trial. I'm telling you, get ready. Like my video and subscribe to my channel.